Already recorded. It's cold in here. Are you cold?
No.
I'm freezing.
It's because you got your belly. You may drift out.
Oh, man. I just cracked my knuckles.
Oh, my goodness. Do you hear? Yo, what is wrong with this woman?
It was a good one, too.
Oh, it was good. And I didn't register to me. I was like, ooh, that was a good one. And I was like, wait. You're not supposed to wait for that. Okay, so let's switch it then. You do the clap. I'll do the.
Okay.
All right. Y'all ready? Let's get into this.
Get into this.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
See, I knew I had a good one. So
look at you.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, Pete?
yes.
Welcome back to the Let's Make Out podcast, where we make out all things what?
Love, life, and laughter.
That is right. I am your host, Gabrielle Flowers Raider, joined by my handsome husband and co-host,
Chad Reader.
If this is your first time listening to us, don't mind him, okay? He just has to do the most with his name because he feels like my name is longer.
I did the most with the marrying the finest woman in the world.
You did that, shouty.
That's right. So, yeah.
What's going on? How are you guys doing? How's your day? Hopefully well. Whenever you're listening to this, what's this been like? Oh, okay.
It's been like 3 weeks.
What has it? So you knew what I was trying to say.
I knew what
It didn't come out right.
I can pick up on her jibber jabber.
I was going to say, it's been 3 weeks since we have talked to you guys, and I'm trying to think what has happened. Well, quite a bit has happened, but
yeah. We traveled.
We did. We traveled. We came back. We unfortunately had to put our dog down.
Yes.
Shout out to Oscar.
Man, it's still, like I literally, before we walked up here, I was about to say, you need to go outside, Oscar. Like in my head, I was like, do you need to go outside?
It's weird, man. When you've had a dog for almost 14 years,
yeah,
like
it's really weird.
It's really weird getting used to him not being, like for me, I always look for him in certain places and he's like not there. You know what I'm saying? So like he has this spot on the couch where he would just lay and he would just lay there. But say if we were in the bathroom or like Chad was showering, he would come and like sit outside of the shower door, like waiting for him to get out. Like he wouldn't come upstairs unless Babe was coming upstairs. Like just little things, you know what I'm saying? Like, or even asking like, did Oscar go out? Just little stuff like that. So it's been really weird. We like got rid of all of his like his bed and his crate and his food and stuff. Took it up and put it in the garage. Did you actually?
I haven't been able to throw it away yet.
So I'm going to throw it away with it. But it's interesting because I had a comment. I mentioned that I was talking about. This was like right after that. And I was saying that we got rid of all the stuff. And somebody had the audacity to message me and was like, you should have donated it. Oh, well. First of all I said was we got rid of it. That doesn't tell you what I did with it. And I didn't even respond. Because I was like, I'm telling you about putting my dog down and what I did with his stuff and how I've been feeling.
And that's what you got to say?
And that's what you come back with? Like, it wasn't thrown away. It's in our garage right now. I got rid of it from its place. I say all of that to say that just think before you speak. Think before you type. Or before you respond. Like, sometimes we feel like we know the people's intentions or we know like I'm just trying to figure out what her thoughts were to say, oh well, you should have donated it. Like, what was your purpose there? Like, you don't know what I did with it, but you don't even know what I did with it. So it's just like, and you also never know how people are feeling. Like, that was not the day. And I didn't respond because I didn't want to be rude.
If I would have saw it.
But that was not the day. And sometimes everything doesn't need to be said.
And sometimes too is that if you know someone's going through something, obviously you should be able to know. Why would we be doing anything with Oscar stuff? You know that he is not here no more. Then it's not about you. It's not about your opinion.
Yeah, like, it was just real. And this is somebody that I have had a conversation with before, so she wasn't like a random person. So maybe she meant nothing by it, but I just think that in those moments, we have to stop and say, is this comment that I'm getting ready to make going to be beneficial? Because it was kind of like a smart aleck, like, well, you should have donated it. Oh, well. What? Girl. Anyway.
Yeah, bye.
Random. So we had to deal with that, which was probably the hardest thing.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get emotional now because, like, you know, it's like every morning I would get out of bed to get Chad Jr. ready for school, and I would pick Oscar up out of bed, and I would take him out with me and set him down. Because I knew he wanted to come downstairs with me. So
he would be scratching at the door.
Exactly. So I always made a point to pick him up and give him a kiss, and then I'd set him outside the door when I close it. That way he can, you know, go down to his spot. Or most of the time he would just come into Chad Jr.'s room with me as I was getting him ready. So it's been, you know, it stinks. You know, it's something that really sucks because, you know, dogs are they're more than just they're a pet. Like
they become part of the family.
They give you the little love and stuff that you learn to, you know, expect. You know, and you're like, you know, and so when you don't have that, you miss it.
Yeah. So that was definitely interesting because we took Chad with us, and it hit him harder than I don't know, harder than I thought it would. I feel like the days when we were like making the decision, coming to the decision,
he was always asking us.
He kept asking us, and I was like, he was like, well, can I tell my friends? And I'm like, you just want to tell your friends what's going on. But also, Oscar's been here since before him, so all his life he's had this dog. So it really, really hit him on the way there, and I was just like, man, that's the worst thing. I remember going through that with my childhood dog when we had to do the same thing with her, and it was just, I was just devastated. So
yeah, I don't have any memories. That was Oscar's, but the first dog that I've ever, you know, like experienced that years. With. Now, now Muffy, my dog that I had, my Chinese Imperial Shih Tzu that I had, that I gave to Renee, and the girls and Mark, when they were, you know, when Mark and Renee were married, they had to put her down a few months back. So I had to experience, you know, just seeing her on the phone, you know, in the room right before they did it. And then, you know, with Oscar. So, obviously, you know, my connection with Muffy wasn't the same. It's obviously sad to see her little, you know, see her little face, and, you know, knowing that that's going to happen because, you know, I'm the one that picked her out.
Right.
And, you know, and I had her for a little while, but Oscar was a whole nother connection. You know what I'm saying? So
it sucks that they just don't live longer. It's one of those things like, you know, it's coming, but it happens so sudden. Like, we knew Oscar was old. He's 13 and a half, but
we knew. I mean,
he had been just fine, you know, and it's like, well,
that makes it harder. So we thought,
just fine, you know.
It proves he was just a trooper, man.
Yeah,
he was just masking what he was dealing with, and his checkups didn't pick up on this stuff because his blood work was fine. So,
which is another thing that I wanted to say. If you have dogs and you have younger dogs, I feel like investing in dog insurance may actually be worth it because, you know, like when they get older, things could be happening that they don't pick up.
And the stuff is very expensive for dogs.
In the regular checkups. Pets. Like, because they, you know, the things that were going on with him, they said it was probably cancerous. But it's like, he just had his semi-annual like 2 months ago and he was fine. So, you know, certain things, I guess, they require like ultrasounds and things like that to like get a full picture of what's happening. And those things are not cheap. It was like, we're going to pay this $2,000 to $4,000 to get this ultrasound for Oscar
to find out that
it's cancer, and then what? And
then he needs. And we already had we decided after talking to the doctor, to multiple vets, because the doctor that gave me the results also conferred with another doctor there, and then our doctor that saw Oscar for years confirmed everything. So it literally was 3 doctors that confirmed that what we were doing was the right thing. Yeah. But we were like, we're not going to put Oscar through a surgery or chemo. No. Because he's almost 14. Right. Like, he's not doing good with, like, you know, like, so imagine how he would be doing with that, you know. And so, you know, so it was nice to hear the doctors say that we were making the right decision, but it still
sucks.
It still sucks because you're like, the whole time we're waiting for Oscar to just all of a sudden look his head up and just be normal. again.
Like he had just stopped eating.
He stopped eating. He wouldn't drink water barely.
He didn't want to walk, like nothing.
And it was just literally like almost like an overnight thing. And we're just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And so that was, very sucky.
So on a lighter note, let's cue the music.
Yes, let's definitely cue the music. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The wrong way.
Oh, I'm like, what are you trying to say?
The wrong way.
I thought you were saying Gabrielle wins.
No, well, you do win, girl. You got me, girl. So
what did I win?
You won me, baby.
So funny, baby. So
all you do is win, no matter what.
Okay. I'm trying to think what else has happened. I feel like that's the most that's happened.
And that's the podcast. Thank you so much for listening.
Worth talking about. So we're back. And I've got some questions, you guys. We haven't done questions in a really long time.
Well, let's get into the first sponsor real quick, and then we'll jump into some. So,
so
normally Gabrielle would talk about this first sponsor, but Chad is going to talk about the first sponsor today, and I am Chad.
Yeah. Why was that? What is that? First person?
Chad doesn't like the way you're speaking to him right now.
Is that first person? Third person?
First person. Third person. I don't know.
Let me tell you, my English.
I don't know how many persons it is.
It has to be first person.
Well, one person,
right?
with two persons here, okay? Two persons in this podcast right now.
Third person.
Can Chad start or what?
As
I know
someone else.
Third
person.
Yeah. Can Chad go?
Chad can go.
Okay. Is Gabrielle okay with that?
Gabrielle is okay. She's going to sip her coffee.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll tell her I love her. Okay, all right. So, I'm trying to be a lighter note because y'all, I got emotional. Like talking about Oscar is not fun to talk about.
I am
surprised
surprised that you didn't cry.
No, I wiped some tears but it's I'm on the brink of it, so I got to start making jokes because it sucks. So new mood. So this is the perfect time for me to check it out because because it's been tough. But so basically I am getting ready to. I actually have decided to. I downloaded the app. I decided to go ahead and get signed up and everything. So I've been hearing Gabrielle talk about it for months now, and I've been interested. I just haven't. So now I'm actually going to take advantage of it. So this will be my first time doing the read. But the next time we talk about them, I'll actually give you my thoughts, my experience. But I want to tell you about them because maybe you want to jump in and try it out at the same time I do, and then we can compare notes. All right. You and the Chad can compare notes. So basically, learning to manage daily stress and anxious thoughts is something that, I definitely want. I'm sure that all of us want. But like me, many of us don't know where to even begin. New Mood is here to help guide us to mental wellness and give us the tools that we need to tackle stress, so that we can feel empowered to take on whatever life throws at you, because life be throwing stuff at you, just throwing it.
All of it.
So, I've heard great things about, obviously, New Weight is another product they have, and obviously I've heard great stuff about New Mood from Gabrielle, and the reviews, are nothing but praises. So, life is, I don't have to tell you how stressful life is. We just talked about something that's very stressful that, that will obviously bring on stress without anything else that's going on. But they have a team of dedicated coaches that will give, they have a support system that'll be a support system for you that'll help you through your journey. I don't really have the personal experience yet, so I'm excited to dive in, and I'll give you some of that later. But
I have the personal experience, and it's totally worth it. Like, y'all know I sing its praises every time we talk about it. Just trust me, it is. It just gives you tangible ways to handle your stress.
Well, I love the tools that she talks about. The tool, like the tool chest, where
like you get the toolbox. You get to decide what you want to keep after working on it for a full week. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. next week you have another tool.
I think that's good because a lot of times, you try something and it might work for a couple days, but day 3 it just doesn't work no more, or it might work for a couple weeks and then all of a sudden it just stops working. And maybe it was just a phase of work for you, but now you need something better and something a little bit different because maybe you're improving, or maybe you're getting worse. Who knows? But
hopefully you're not getting worse.
The goal is to get better. So I've always loved that she talks about the toolbox aspect. So I'm excited to build my toolbox. So I want to remind you, and I remind myself all the time, that you are stronger than your stress. It doesn't get to control you. So it's time for us to equip ourselves with the knowledge and skills that will steer ourselves to happiness, because that's my goal, is just pure happiness all the time. I like to live on them fluffy clouds that I know is possible. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be as happy as possible. And again, with that, one size does not fit all. You can navigate the program at your own pace, and you'll also have the support of a coach along the way. As experts in behavior change, Noom has helped millions of people through their weight loss program. So they can help you tackle stress too. I had to make sure I was reading the right thing there. So with New Mood, taking care of your mental wellness is empowering. They'll help you gain a better understanding, your personal relationship with stress and anxious thoughts, so you can take control, build resilience, and develop coping mechanisms that actually work. So all you need is 10 minutes a day, and it's on the app. So it's there for you anytime, anywhere. We'd love for you to check it out, so you can worry less and feel happier. Sign up for your trial at noom.com/LMO. Again, that's Noom, NOOM.com/LMO. So yeah, check it out. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I'm excited to give my thoughts, and so check it out.
Check it out. All right. So pick a number between 1 and 54.
12.
I don't even know why I asked you.
Yeah, I don't know why you just don't read me 12 first.
Right. What are the 5 most important things on your bucket list?
The 5 most important thing on my bucket list?
Yes. Thanks for restating the question.
That's what you're supposed to do when you're answering it.
You are supposed to
do
that.
The 5 most important things on my bucket list, on Chad's bucket list, are...
I came up with that one.
I answered it correctly. Thank you very much.
English class.
I know, right? This is a deep question. I don't think I've ever sat down and developed a bucket list.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Do I actually have a bucket list? I used to. I feel like my priorities have shifted a bit, so it may not be accurate at this point. Well, what are the top 5 things you want to do with your life?
Well, I want to...
we know one of them.
Be an Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Become a black belt with Chad Jr. in Taekwondo. That's just something that I look for it every day. It's going to be so cool. What else? That's irritating.
Well, I stumped you on a question, Shawty.
No, right. Let's see. And then, be completely financially free. That's kind of a joint with us, but just completely feel like we're in a position when we're ready to retire. We can do whatever we want, travel the world, do whatever we want. So, I think that definitely is a bucket list for sure, just because that's not something ever that my parents experienced, and so I want us to be able to, so we talk about that all the time. But I think that would be really, really cool. Walk my daughter down the aisle. I don't want to do that anytime soon, obviously, but when she's ready and she found the right man, then I'm excited. I think that's gonna be such a cool moment, and then be there at Chad's wedding. You'd be that supportive dad, and have a cigar with him after.
So cute.
So I think those are 5 of them. So yeah,
those are good answers.
All
right, I'm gonna go with 30.
Oh, I should have known. Chad should have known. Gabriel, where was your favorite place to go as a child, and why did you love it there? Answer in the third person, please.
I'm not. My favorite place to go as a child.
Of God. Sorry.
I don't know. What was my favorite place to go? You know what? I say for the longest time it was Nana and Papa's house. I loved going to their house.
Their current one?
That's the only house they ever lived
Oh, that's
in.
true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
That's the house that I've known my whole life. 40 whole years.
They moved there in 82. That's
They
so
did.
funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was born in 82. They moved there in 82. I just loved being at my grandparents' house. Like, for whatever reason, I just think there's something about grandparents. And one day I pray that I will be able to know what that feels like to be on the other side. But I just loved going over there. Like, they had all of this space. The house was big. The yard was big. I had, like, you know, a play set and a motorized car. And Papa would let me ride in a pickup truck. And we'd go to the store and he'd give me whatever I wanted. Like, it was just fun. Hanging out in Nana and Papa's house was like the bee's knees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was dope. And then I feel like I went through a phase where, you know, I got a little older and I didn't want to go over there. You know, like when you get older, you like teenager, you start feeling yourself. But for the most part, I still loved it over there.
Yeah.
Loved going, hanging out, saying hi to all Nana's customers and just chilling. Yeah.
Cute little Gabrielle. Reagan-sized Gabrielle.
Loving Nana and Papa's house.
That's so funny. I can just picture a little Reagan-sized Gabrielle.
Oh gosh, yes. And Papa let me do everything. He let me have everything. Like, his answer was always yes.
Sounds like me.
It does. He really
Sounds like me.
Yes. Yeah. He was the best.
It's hard to tell my ladies no.
Okay, what about you? Give me another number.
17.
17. Who do you trust? Who do I trust? What movie is that from? Who do I trust? Do you know? You don't recognize that line?
I don't.
Do you guys recognize that line? Don't you hate that when you know it's a line from somewhere, but you don't really know where it comes from? Who do I trust? I don't know.
Who do I trust?
Who do you trust?
Who do you run to? Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. What was you singing?
Who do you run to? What is that song?
Who can I run
Yes,
to?
exactly. Who can I
Who
run
do you love? Are you sure? Hey.
Okay, let's see. Chad Truss. Sorry.
Please stop with the third person.
It's just
before I
fun.
spit out my coffee.
It's funny. Who do I trust? I mean, obviously Gabrielle. I mean, that's his.
Oh, do you trust me? I have the ultimate trust test.
What is that?
Do you want to know what it is?
What's the ultimate? What's the ultimate trust test? Go ahead. What is it?
I don't know that it's the ultimate, but I was thinking about this. Do you trust? Maybe it's not a trust test. Maybe it's not a trust test, but would you let me look through your Google search history?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that's like really being vulnerable to let somebody see what you Google? Like, you
I
just
think it would
never
be,
know. You know what I'm saying?
I think mine would all be like trading or sports stuff. Yours
Yeah.
would all be like, would be a hodgepodge. Yours would be
All of
a
the things.
hodgepodge of stuff.
There's like a segment I wanted to add to the podcast. Like, what are the last 5 things that we Googled?
I
Just
feel like-
to see the randomness
Yeah, I feel like mine
that
would
we
be like,
search on a daily basis. Like, just that day. Like, what are the last 5 things that you Googled?
random sports facts, or if I'm watching a show, I watch Vikings. So I looked up like the Viking characters because
Yeah.
it's supposed to be all true story. It's supposed to be based on Vikings.
Yeah.
So I looked up like all the Vikings. I'm like, if they were real,
Like, if these were real.
and if they really
Oh,
they really
smart.
were real people, and if, you know what their reign was, and found
Now-
out that most
now
of them
I wanna
were.
know. What is the last 5 things you actually Googled?
I think they're all Viking stuff.
Let me see.
I don't think it's on here, but
Oh, on your phone. What's the last thing you Googled on your phone?
I don't think that I Google on my phone.
Oh, because you be using Safari, don't you?
No, I mean I don't think that I.
You do. Look at all of this.
So Taekwondo tournaments, non-alcoholic cream ale beer, first king of Greenland. Bible verse, we are conquerors, because I put that in my caption.
Oh.
First king of Iceland. Who was King Arthur?
Go-kart kits for sale.
Go-kart kits for sale.
Oh, my
Harold
God.
Fairhair, because he was the first king of Norway.
This is really... And this is all Viking stuff?
Why did Michael Todd take a break?
Okay. That's hilarious.
They even looked at lower back pain and heart stuff.
That's so funny. Okay, I'm gonna share with you because.
But see that look, that's the thing. But you should be able to like. I mean, yeah, it's Gabrielle. I mean, she has access to my phone. If she says, "Hey, let me use my phone," I hear.
So the last few things that I googled, important conversations to have right now, because I was trying to find a topic for this podcast. Okay. Are you living life to the fullest? Because I wanted to talk about that, but I actually wanted to have like something to go with it, so I might come back with that. Life quizzes, calendar 2022-23, the school calendar for Siege, Banana Republic, how to high five on Peloton. I always get high fives when I'm on my Peloton, and I never knew how to high five people back until today. I mean, I knew how to high five them back,
like this,
but I never knew how to high five them.
You lift one hand. You lift one hand and you do this.
I never knew how to initiate it. I'd be like, practice. How are these people high fiving me?
It's practice. High five, sweetie. There it is.
How to be happier, which was another thing I was searching. 5-star remix
lyrics.
5-star chick 5-star chick has been in my head since earlier this week. I think because
we played the edited version last night.
We played the edited version, then we played the remix, and I was like, these are not it. I really only like one verse. Because it says Tennessee State
by Yo Gotti
in it, and it didn't come.
Because you know Gotti lives in Memphis.
Oh yes,
that's why he says.
Yes, let's see. My back hurting after deadlifting. My back hurts after deadlifting because that's a true story. Today, got up and my back was super sore. Alabama game schedule, because I be trying to see what I can plan around these game schedules on Saturdays. Panda dunks.
Because I have Panda Dunks.
Because Chad has Panda Dunks.
She bought me some
for our pictures. And we wore them for our pictures that we took last night.
Now I can actually wear them.
Woodford Neon 40 tights, which were the tights that I wore yesterday for our pictures. I was trying to get the link. So hilarious. I feel like that's the ultimate trust test. When you can open up your Google search history and let your significant other
without like trying to like
see it without trying to like skip over or delete or.
And honestly, I Google more on my computer.
Oh yeah.
But I guess they all sync though, so it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter. You can pull it up. Yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't really Google on my phone, but I Google on my computer because I'm on my computer usually. Yeah. But I forgot it syncs up to your phone anyway. So
yeah. That's so funny. So you trust me?
Yes.
All that to say you trust me.
All that to say I trust Gabrielle. Yeah. I mean. Yeah, I trust God, but here on earth, I trust Gabrielle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure there's a great handful of people.
Yeah, I mean, there's other people too, but I mean, I think
it's more than enough to then like list them all, the people that you trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's going through that whole list of people you trust? Like,
yeah, no, I've got a handful of people that I think that I really I trust, and but trust is also there's levels. There's levels. Gabrielle, I trust with everything. Mm-hmm. My brother, I trust
with most things.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to be the second highest under Gabrielle. Mm-hmm. And then, I've got some people that have trust levels, but there's for certain things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because because I think that's the way the world works. I mean, you can't.
Oh, definitely.
I think people are in your life for certain reasons, and it's okay. You don't have to be.
Everybody don't have to be their trust for your whole life. Like, you don't have to be able to trust people with your whole life. Everybody.
Exactly.
That's what I was trying to say.
Absolutely.
So my number is 3.
Oh, D Wade's number.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never ever in life have I known that.
I don't know where it went.
Oh.
Where'd it go? Sorry.
Oh, it's because I was looking at the Google stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. It's like, don't make me search through your phone try to find this girl. Chad will do it.
Go for it.
Tell me about a relationship issue you're having and ask me for advice on how to fix it. My husband's a jerk off. Well, speaking as your husband.
That is so funny. I don't have a relationship issue right now. I think the biggest issue is that I just don't feel like we're spending enough time together.
Yes, and we both
know this.
It.
Like, this is a
it.
conversation that we have.
And that's why we started trying to bring date nights back.
Oh my gosh, because life has just been lifing, and everything else has become a priority, it seems like. So yeah, that's definitely. Oh, which reminds me, I need to text the babysitter to see if she's available. For our next date.
Yeah. Because that's something that's really important for us. Is like, we've always been of that belief is that your kids can't become the number one priority.
Right.
Your relationship still has to be that top priority, because if you lose that, then
what
you can lose a lot of things
Yeah.
that you don't want to lose, right? So we just really want to, but we love spending time together. That's the thing. We love doing something simple as watching our shows together or going to dinner together. Like, so for us, it's very simple.
Mm-hmm. It don't have to be complicated.
Don't have to be complicated. Like we went on a date night. We went to a place after dinner, and we put our names on the list for
duck pin
bowling, and we had one drink and said, "Do you want to just go home?"
I'd rather just get in the bed and watch our show.
Exactly, because that's what we love, and so, but we know we want to do that more. We want more
definitely.
of that.
Which is so funny. Speaking of shows, I created a list the other day of all the shows that we have to watch. And most of these shows are all shows that we've watched at least 1 to 2 episodes of and didn't finish.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe we're like well into it, a few seasons, and then we're just behind a season. So it is so long. I'm actually going to share the note with you, because we are always, when we get a moment to look at something, we're always like, well, what do we have to watch?
I know, right?
Like we haven't started all these shows and not finished them. So now we can refer back to the note. So you be ready next time we get some TV time.
Yep, definitely. I was looking at our next sponsor.
Oh, I'm like, you're disconnected. What's happening?
Well, I'm going to get into our second sponsor, our second and last sponsor real quick. I just didn't want to forget. I know you guys are excited to hear about it. So, and these sponsors, they're always linked in the show notes or the description as well. So if you we're hoping that you're interested in them, but if you are, you can click the link down there or go to that website, and you can take advantage of the deal that we're able to offer through the podcast. So just in case you didn't know that, because if you're like me, you probably don't look at the show notes or the description sometimes, but it's there. So the second sponsor here is Green Chef. So what is Green Chef, you're asking? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Chad is ready to tell you what it is. Green Chef is
You're so silly.
Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company. Green Chef makes eating well easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. Green Chef offers a range of recipes to suit your preferences. So, I mean, look, so they got the talking points here, and I'm on my phone, so they're kind of small. So let me make sure I can read them, y'all. So basically, they have more customization than ever before. That's what they're offering with new organic and wild-caught protein options. You can swap the protein in any meal that features chicken, beef, or salmon to suit your taste, and then they'll deliver the recipes tailored to you directly to your front door. I think that's awesome that you can swap the proteins, because, I mean, I just think that's a unique thing that the Green Chef does. I really like that. Choose from all 24 recipes weekly with the option to mix and match meals from different preferences. So you can order vegan one day, keto the next. So I think that's also another cool feature. So you can kind of try different options. If you want to try a vegan meal, you can try a vegan meal today. Or if you want a steak meal the next day, you can do that too. So, I already told you about customizing the meals. You can elevate your dinner experience with the Fall's Finest collection, which is a curated selection of farmstead favorites, fresh seasonal ingredients, and premium proteins. Let's see. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well with dinners that works for you, not the other way around. As the only keto meal kit, Green Chef makes sticking to a carb-conscious lifestyle easy. So that's something that they pride themselves on. Convenience, fast and fit meals under 700 calories and ready in 25 minutes or less. Everything is pre-made, pre-measured. Includes the sauces, dressings, and spices. So it makes it easier. So they are sustainable. Green Chef is the only meal kit that is both carbon and plastic offset. They offset 100% of their carbon footprint as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. So basically, we want you to check them out. They've got great meals. We've never had a bad meal with them, and we actually have another box coming soon. Yes. We got to pick a date, and we're going to get that box. I'm excited about that. So we want you to check them out. You can go to greenchef.com/LMO135 and use code LMO135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. So again, greenchef.com/LMO135 and use the code LMO135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes, and your first box ships free. So check them out. I think you'll like them, and let us know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Check it out.
Check it out. Hey.
Okay, so I think we have an Ask Gabe and Babe that we're going to cover, or no?
No, maybe next time.
That you just love
Chad has realized that we have a call.
He just always be cutting this podcast short. We love y'all. I promise we do. We don't be trying to slight y'all. But sometimes we just have to get it done in the little pockets of time that we have.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to save that Ask Gabe and Babe for the next next episode, which should be in 2 weeks.
Next week.
Oh, next week.
Yeah, because we delayed from last week, so it's next week.
Oh, yeah, so it's next week.
We're back next week, y'all.
So look at that. You get 2 podcasts, you get 2 podcasts in a row. So here's what I would love for you guys to do. Send us some more Ask Gabe and Babe so we can keep this going. If you have a question, a situation, a dilemma about anything, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a dilemma ship. It can be relationship related, family related, friendships, parenting, money, whatever it is.
If there's someone in your household that speaks in third person all the time
and you want our unprofessional opinion on it,
we will opinionize it
the heck out of it. Okay, so just email us at letsmakeoutpodcast.com. That's not right. letsmakeoutpodcast@gmail.com. And put hashtag Ask Gabe and Babe in the subject line so that we know this is something you want us to cover on the podcast. I am still waiting on somebody to send us a voice recording because I would love to hear you guys ask the question in your voice. We will play it so that you guys can hear it too, because sometimes it's just good to hear like the nuances and like the tone and how you say certain things. Yeah. So I'm still waiting on that first voice message.
Who's going to be the first?
Ask Gabe and Babe. Who's going to be the first? Okay, you can record it on your phone and email it to us.
Who's going to be the first?
Easiest thing you can do. So yeah, in the meantime, in between time, you can catch us on Instagram at Let's Make Out Podcast, Facebook Let's Make Out Podcast, Twitter.
Chad likes that.
Let's Make Out Pod. What are you saying? I'm trying to wrap this up.
I'll wrap it up. All right. So check us out. Check us out. Of course I won't, sweetie. We're married. Okay.
You need to snip it up.
I snip it up. Exactly. That's the next podcast. We'll talk about that. So, y'all, thank you so much for listening. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for watching, or both. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. They'll be down below, as well as the offers from our sponsors. Yes. And we will talk to you
later.
Deuces.